Hi all. Today we are going to discuss about the file connector. Okay. So file connectors means so we can write the data into the files and we can read the data from the files. Those kind of operations we can perform by using the file connector. We have two types of connectors like file and SFTP. So file is local file purpose and SFTP is like remote files purpose. But as of now, we'll see local files, how we can access the local files from the MuleSoft. By using MuleSoft, how we can access the files. That operations we can see in today's session. Okay, let's see. I'll click on file and select the new and create a Mule project. Okay, so here I'll create a example file underscore so click on finish button, so then it will create a one file example. So in this file example, we are going to create a file and we are going to read the file. Everything we'll do, perform all operations on the file. Okay, for that, first I'll start my flow with the HTTP listener, as you know very well. Okay, and after that, I will add the file module to my application. So then only I can perform operation on the files, right? So for that, I'll click on add module. Here you can see file, FTP, SFTP. You can see different kind of file modules. These are the file modules. But FTP and SFTP will use for remote files. Nothing but that files will not be stored in our local system. That files will be stored in server level. If you want to access that server level files, you can go with the FTP or SFTP. So in the FTP or SFTP, we have option to connect to that server and we'll connect to that particular directory and we'll get the files. But in the file, it will connect to only local files only, local system only. So here we don't have any options to connect to the server. Okay, that's why if I want to perform any operations on the local files, simply I'll drag the file. Just I'll add the file module to my project. Just I'll click on add. It will add the file module. If you add this file module, you can see a lot of operations inside this file module. So you can perform all this operation on that files. Okay, so you can copy the file from one folder to another folder. Even you can create the folder also, and also like you can delete the file. And for example, if you have multiple files in your folder, even you can read all the files. Here you can see list all files from the given directory. Directory means folder. So nothing but it will read all the files from the folder, and even we can copy the file from one folder to another folder. Even we can move the file from one folder to another folder. You know, right? What is the difference between the copy and move? Copy means it will maintain one copy in input folder after moving the target folder. But in the move section, if you move one file to input folder to output folder, completely it will move. Nothing but it will remove in a input folder as well. Okay, this is the file reading purpose and this is also file reading purpose, but these two have some difference. Okay, so if you take any flow, this is the source level, this is the process level. If you want to read your file in a source level, you can go with the on your update file, and this is process level. If you want to read a file in a process level, you can read the file in a process level. Rename means obviously you know it will rename the files, and you can write some data into the file by using the write operation. In this way you can perform all this operation. We'll see one by one, right? Then you will not get that much confused. Okay, so first we will see how we can read the file. For that I'll choose the read option. Okay, so otherwise before reading the file we need to write the file, right? Then only we can read the file. So then I'll go with the first write operation. So here I'll change the name write flow, write file. Okay, write file. Here I can place HTTP listener is source, and here you can configure the HTTP listener. You know very well, right, how we can configure the HTTP listener. Just click on add, and here you can give the path. Right is my path. After that, simply I'll add the logger. Inside logger, I can write some kind of a start message. Okay, this is the start logger. Inside start logger, I can write message is called. So first of all, I want to print this flow name. How can I print the flow name? Hash square braces. Inside hash square braces, I need to write flow dot name. So nothing but it will take this name and it will write the message. Okay, write file flow started.
Here also you can give like control and space, right?
Sorry.
Control and space, like
Yes,
to
yes,
get a.
control space. Yes, yes. If you want to get this kind of syntaxes directly, you have to press Control S, Control space. Okay. So
Okay.
here I can write flow. So simply here I can write the started. So flow name, it will take like write file flow started. It will print like that. Okay. And here this is a start logger, and I'll take one more end logger also. It will represent like end of the flow. So here also I can take flow name. Okay, control space, hash square braces, and here flow dot name. Here also I can take the flow dot name ended. These two messages will print always. Whenever the flow start, this start logger will print. Whenever the flow ends, nothing but your process is complete, this end logger will print. If any error occurred in between these flows, so then end logger will not print. Okay, for example, if I want to write some content, so while writing, if I got any error occurred, so this end logger will not print. That is the indication you are getting some errors inside flow. Okay, if your end logger is printed successfully, means you are able to write your data successfully. Okay, so here even you can change your file display also. Okay, file write. Let's see. Here the file write means simply I need to give the file path location, right? So where I want to write my file. So if you want to write in application level also, even you can write. Okay, here you can create a file folders also. Okay, for example, I'll create a folder here. It's like folder. So here write. Okay, so I'll write my file in a write folder. Otherwise output folder or input folder, any folder you can write. Okay, so if you want rename, okay, I'm renaming manually, everything I'm doing manually, right? So next time I'll do by using MuleSoft also. Here I can, yeah, here I'll use input. I want to write my file in a input location. Okay, input location I want to write. So it is okay. It is taking too much time to rename the folder or anything. Yeah, it is renamed, right? So in this folder I want to write. How can I write? So for that, simply click on this browse option in the file path section. Simply click on browse button. There it is showing automatically. It is going to this path. Okay, this path it is going. Here you need to choose the SRC main resource. Okay, SRC. So automatically it is going to this application workspace path. This is a workspace. So wherever you are storing your all this application, it is automatically routing to that path. There you can select this path, SRC main resource. SRC main resource. Inside SRC main resource, you have two folders, API input. So API input. If I want to store my details in an input folder, you need to select the input folder. Even you need to give the file name also, like student Any data you can store, customer .txt. If you store your file in a txt format, you can store any type of data, like you can store JSON data, you can store XML data, any kind of data you can store. Okay, let's see. Before that, okay, so I'm sending data, right? So directly it will store into this text file. Let's see how we can send the data. For that, I'll take one new resource. In that resource, I'm sending as a post method. Okay, by using post method only, we can send our request body. So select the body and select the raw content type. If you want to send your data as a text format, you can send. If you want to send your JSON format also, you can send. But this JSON data will store into this text file. So this data, JSON data will store in the text file as a text only. Okay. After reading this text file, if you want, you can convert into a JSON data. So that is different story. We'll discuss later. Okay. So for example, I want to store my JSON data. So JSON data means this is our JSON data. So we have multiple customer details. Okay. Multiple customer details. I'm sending this data. Okay. So here you can see these all details I'm sending from Postman. Okay. So let's see. I'll remove all these things. Yeah, I'm sending the data. So here I need to give the path. What is my path here? HTTP listener path. Right is my path, right? So before that, I'll start this application. How can I start? Simply right click on this empty space and click on run project. So then if it is asking save, you can save. Okay, it will save all the remaining tabs also. Then you can start your project. Once it is deployed successfully, so I can test from the Postman. How can I test? If I'm sending this data as a JSON format to my URL. So what is the URL? HTTP colon localhost 8081 slash write. This is my path. If I'm sending this request, the data will come here. So the data will print in a log. The data will write in a file by using this file write option. Okay, let's see how it will write. I'm sending the request. So as of now, you can see there is no files right here. So even I can refresh also. There is no files here. Okay, refresh. There is no files. If I'm sending the request, okay, then here you can see data is coming. Whatever you are sending the data, that data is coming as a response. So before that, it will write into a file. So even now you can refresh and you can see input folder have one file customer.txt. So here you have given customer.txt, right? So in the file section, input folder customer.txt. Same file it is created. Now you can open and you can see. So this data JSON data will store into this customer.txt. Okay. So let's see. And here, so in this way you can store your data into the file. Yeah. So if you want to store another format also, you can store. Okay. So that format also, like if you send XML format, XML data will store into the text file. Any format data you can store into the text file. But here, whatever I'm sending the input, I'm getting the output, right? So if you don't want like this, you want some kind of a success message. You can set that success message in the end of the flow. How you can set? By using set payload also you can set. Otherwise by using transfer message also you can set. Both ways you can set your messages. I'm using transfer message to set my message. So here I'll give some kind of a key. Message colon. So file inserted or file button successfully. Okay. File written successfully. In a JSON format, I'll send this response. Once the data will return successfully into the file, so then it will return this message. Okay. So let's see. I'm sending the request again. Okay. So 1 to 4 I'm sending. Previously 1 to 3 we have, right? So 1 to 4 Nero I will send. I'm sending the request. Now you will get file written successfully. Okay, if you check in the file, okay, if you check in the file, then you will get new data. 1 to 4 Nero data you will get. Okay. So in this way, always the data will be overwrite. Nothing but if you send any new data, the old data will delete and new data will replace. Okay, in some scenarios, they are not expecting like overwritten option. Nothing but if they're sending any new data, so they don't want to delete the old data also. So in that scenario, they want to combine their data with the old data. If they are sending any new data, they want to combine their data with the old data. In that scenario, you have to enable one more option. So here you need to change the write mode. So presently our write mode is overwrite. Nothing but if you are sending any new data, it will delete the old data and it will return the new data. But here if you select the kind of a append option, what will happen? So always it will append the new content with the old content. Let's see how it will append. Okay, Control S. This is the text file, right? So as it is, it will append. So whatever. Okay, as of now you have 1 to 4 and Nero data, right? So I'll add some 1 to 5 data. 1 to 5 data and Sai. Okay, I'm sending the request. File written successfully. Yeah, here you can see it is adding the data, right? So 1 to 4, 1 to 5. If you want to add another data, you can add. Okay, if you want another data also, you can add 1 to 6 and something Shiva. Okay, I'm sending the request. Now let's see. So this file also 1 to 6 Shiva, 1 to 5 Sai, 1 to 4 Maili. So all the details it will append. Okay.
మనం
So
ఇచ్చే
here,
ఎప్పుడైనా అరే లోపలనే ఇవ్వాలండి.
sorry.
అరే లోపలనే ఇవ్వాలన్నా ఇచ్చే ఇన్పుట్ మొత్తం.
No, not like that. JSON it's mean if you want to send multiple objects, then you have to use array. So if you want to send only singular object, then you don't need to keep this array. Okay, so you can remove this array and you can send. Okay, so this one also. Anyway, this is a text file, right? So it will not check all these conditions. Okay, so it will save all this data as a text data. So raw text data it will save. So you don't need to worry. Okay. So if I'm sending this data 1 to 7, so it will append anything. If you are sending anything, it will append. Okay, there is no problem with that. Okay, something ABC. I'm sending the data. Now you can see. So in the last ABC data will append. Okay. Sorry, what happened? Yeah, ABC data append, right? Yeah, 2 times append. So in this way, it will append always the new data with the old content. So just you have to understand like how the write mode will work. Okay, so like write mode, if write mode is create a override, so it will override all the new content with old content. If you append, it will append all the new content with old content. If you use create new, so I think it will create a new file for every time. Okay, so let's see how it will work. Even I am also not tried this option. Let's see how it will work. So create new will not require that much always. So I'm sending the request. Is it deployed or not? Yeah, deployed, right? I'm sending the request. So 1 to 8. 1 to 8 I'm sending XYZ. So let's see. I'm sending. Cannot write path. Okay, this path you need to give dynamic. Why? Because every time it will not write a same file. Okay. Write mode create was selected. Okay, because it is already exist in the write mode. Use the different write mode or point to path which does not exist. So it will always look for the new path or new file name. Okay, so for that you need to create a file name dynamically, and you need to give here. Okay, so how you can create the file dynamically? So for example, here you have to give your file name dynamically, right? So for that, I think you need to do some more things. So I think you may not understand also this time. How can I give? Okay, for example, if I changing manually, okay, in real time, usually we'll do like we'll create a dynamic file names here with the date timestamp, nothing but every milliseconds the date time will change, right? So based on that, we'll append the file name. Before that, we'll append the timestamp. So every time it will create a new file name and it will like assign to this file. Okay, otherwise we'll use some kind of a random method. We'll do different things. Okay, so we'll discuss. If we discuss that now, then it is very difficult to understand. That's why I'm not discussing. Okay, customer one I'm giving. Okay, nothing but new file I'm taking. If I'm using create new, every time I need to give the new file name. So then only it will write. Okay, I'm giving the customer one, right? What happened? Why it is not saving? I think already it is saved. Okay, let's check. Okay, here you can see file written successfully. Here refresh you have to click. Okay, so customer one is created. Why? Because I have I have chosen like write mode is create new. So it will always create a new file. So even every time if you are hitting same request, it will throw the error. Before hitting the request, you need to change the file name. Okay, you need to change the file name. Then only you can trigger. So then it will create a new file always. Okay, I'm sending file return. It will write a file in a new file. In this way, the file will create every time. Okay, so in this way, the file write mode will work. And here we can see some other options also, advanced section, reconnection strategies. These are not required actually. So while working with the servers, we can use this reconnection strategy, but as of now, there is not required this kind of reconnection strategy. Reconnection strategy means while connecting to the server, if you are facing any connection issues, so then it will retry for the multiple times. Error mapping and remaining all things same. Okay. So in that way, you can write your data in a multiple ways into the output folder by using file write option. Same, if I want to read this file, how can I read? So I want to read the data from the file. I want to display in a browser. How can I do that? So for that, so I can create a one more flow here. How can I create the flow? So already I have told you, right? Simply copy this. Okay, simply copy this flow, entire flow. Simply paste here, Control V directly. It will select Control C and here select Control V. So then it will copy entire flow here. Okay, so now simply you can remove this option. Sorry, remove this flow name. Here you can write read file flow. Okay, you can rename. This is a write file flow. This is the read file flow. So you need to remove all this copy of also. Why? Because it is copying, right? All these components. You have to remove manually also. So for example, if you have 20 or 30 components, how you can remove? It is very hard, right? So there is a shortcut for that. How we can remove directly? Simply, okay, copy this copy of underscore up to copy of underscore copy and go to configuration XML, Control F. Okay, Control F, press Control F. So replace with empty, nothing but if you have any copy of underscore, if you want to remove that word from this XML, so you can use the empty, nothing but it will remove. If you click on replace all, it will replace all the things. Again, go back to the message flow. Now you can see all the copy of messages will remove. Okay, in this way, you can copy your flow into same convoy, okay, by using Control C and Control V option. Okay, so now my start logger is ready, flow started, and my file write option is there, file end option is there, and this is the transfer message. Okay, but here I want to do some changes. What is that? Here I don't want to write the file here. I want to read the file. In that scenario, obviously you need to change the path name here. What is my path? Read. Read is my path now. And this logger I don't need to change anything. So instead of the file write operation, I need to use the file read option. Okay. So I'll delete this file write and I'll select the file read option. Already I have told you, right? So read means it will read the file in a process level. If you use on your update file, it will read the file in a source level. That is the only difference you can see between the on you or update file and read. Okay, now we are seeing like process level reading file. Already we have saved these files in the input folder. I want to read the same file from the input folder. Okay, let me read the file first. Okay, so I want to read different files are there, right? I want to read one of the file. Okay, which file I want to write? For suppose I'll delete all this data. I don't want all this data. Simply I have single object. I need single object. This data I want to read. Customer.txt I want to read. How can I read? Go to file read option. So here select the file path. This path you need to choose. Okay. So select src main resource, src main resource, go to that input folder. Here you need to select that file. Okay, so customer.txt file I have selected. This file it will read. So obviously here you have multiple files, but if you want to read particular file, you have to use customer.txt. If you want to read all these files, then obviously you can go with the list operation. Okay, that we will see later. Okay, if you want to read all this file, you can go with the list operation. But if I want to read a specific file, then you can go with the file read option, right? So let's read the file. So here I have given the path, right? So then here the flow ended. So flow ended always will be last. Okay, so here I'm reading the file, right? So I'm reading the file in a text file, nothing but it will give in a text format only. I don't want my data in a text format. I want my data in a JSON format. So here by using transform message, I can transform the data from text to JSON format. Okay. In this way, you can transform your data and it will return this data, file data in a JSON format to the browser. Let's see this example. Okay, I'm running this application. I have stopped, right? So I'm running again this application. Let's see. So it is running. Once it is running successfully, then we'll see. Okay. So deployed successfully. I will prepare a separate URL http localhost read operation I'll create. Okay. Read path by using, if I trigger this, then it will come to here. It will go to this folder. It will read this particular file, and after that I'm transforming it to JSON. It will return to the browser. Nothing but Postman. So that file data it will display in a response section. Okay. Let's send this request. Yeah, still it is reading in a string format only. It is not able to reading in a JSON format. JSON format, but it is reading in a string format. Okay, let's see. Okay, finally I'm getting the data, but in a string format I'm getting. So if you want to get in a proper JSON format, you need to convert this string in a JSON, particular JSON. You need to write something. Okay, how you can write first.
ఆర్డర్ డెలివరీ
Second.
అవ్వలేకపోతుంది అనేసి అనుకోని.
Okay, so for this go to Google once. Okay, so I'll tell you some shortcuts also, some syntax also I'll tell you. Okay, string to JSON. String to JSON. How can I convert the string to JSON in data view? Okay, in data view. So I'm checking convert string to JSON data view. Which function I can use in the data view? Let me check here. Okay. So here it will give some suggestion. Based on that we can follow. Yeah, here it will convert your string to JSON output. Okay, you have to use the read function. Okay, so this entire syntax I can use read. Let's see, control C. So now you are getting in a string format, right? This is not a good format. So even you are not able to read also. So I need to convert that string format to JSON, proper JSON format. So here you have to use the read function. In that I'm passing the payload. I'm enforcing to print my string data into a JSON data. Okay, now finally I'll get output as a JSON data. Let's see this one, how it will work. Okay, I'm saving these changes. So by seeing this, you can understand starting you have double quotes and ending also you have double quotes. Nothing but enter it is giving in a string format. So now simply you can convert string to JSON. I'm sending the request. Let's see. Now you can see it is giving in a proper JSON format. Okay. So in this way you can convert the string data into the JSON data by using read option. Okay, don't forget this. So in these kind of operations I'll tell in between these sessions, you have to remember all these things. Whenever if you got this kind of issue, then you can utilize this option. Okay. Yeah, in this way you can read the data in a process level and you can transform the data and you can return to the browser. So this is the write operation, this is the read operation. So if you want to check any other options also you can check. For example, I want to delete the file. Okay, I can read and write, right? So I can delete the file. How can I delete the file? That is also very simple. So I'll copy this entire flow, right? Sorry, not now. Okay, first let me copy this entire flow. How can you copy? Select this flow first. Okay, it will show double lines here. Control C, you can copy, click on this empty space, Control V. So then entire this flow will copy here. So here you need to remove this copy of, right? So before that I'll change the flow name. Delete flow, delete file flow. This is delete file flow. Here I need to remove all this copy of. Simply I can remove, right? Go to configuration XML, Control F. Here you can see copy of. I'm replacing with empty. Replace all. So then it will replace all the names. Okay. So first let me change the path. Delete path. And here you can see this is the start logger. I don't want to change anything here. I'll delete this first of all. I don't want to perform read operation here. Now I want to perform delete operation, right? So here if you want to change the display name also you can change. Delete file. Okay. Transform means I think you don't need this time any transform. Why? Because you are not getting any data from the file, right? To transform the data. So in this scenario, you need to give a one message same like this. Okay, after return you have written one message, right? So and logger should be last. Okay, so this kind of message you can return here. So after deleting the file you can return that kind of message here, like file deleted successfully. Then user can understand easily like the file is deleted. So here you need to choose the path to delete the particular file. For example, I want to delete the customer2 file. So I need to choose, go to src main resource. Okay, src main resource, input folder, select and give the file name also. Customer2. Customer2.txt. So now I can delete this customer2 file and here you can see messages like file deleted option. So obviously the file will delete. So finally the end logger will print. Okay. Now this time I want to check the loggers also, how the loggers is printing. Okay, so once it is deployed, I will send the request, delete request. Okay, delete. So if you want to create a separate, I can create a separate. Delete. I'm sending the request. Now let's see. File deleted successfully. Let's see this file is deleted or not. Still is there, right? If you refresh, then it will delete. Refresh, you can see this file is deleted. Okay. So if I want to delete one more file, customer one also, how can I delete? So simply here you can change the file name and click here. So then automatically it will delete. So here I'm arranging some customized message. Now you can see the loggers also. You can see delete file flow started, delete file flow ended. How it will print? So in the starting logger I have written flow name and started, nothing but like this delete file flow started. So here I have printed flow name dot ended, nothing but delete file flow ended. It is printing these two messages in a console. Sorry, console is missed. So delete file flow started, delete file flow ended. So by seeing this, you can easily understand my process is completed successfully. So this end logger is printed means my process ended completed successfully. Okay. Let's check any another option. So like we can check kind of a, so rename, what is this rename first of all? Renames a file. For the particular file, if you want to rename, so then you can rename. Okay. How you can rename for the particular file, we'll see. For example, for this customer, I want to rename with customer 2. How can I rename? So for that, let me create a one more flow, copy, Control C, click on empty space, Control V, just rename file flow. Let's remove this copy of also, Control F, replace all, copy of also removed. So here I need to change the path first, rename path. Rename, this is the start logger and this is the delete file. This time I don't want to delete the file, I want to rename the file. Okay, so delete this, rename, right? So just rename. So here you can see rename. So rename means first I need to give the path and which name I want to rename, I can give that rename file name here. Okay, source input folder slash customer dot txt. So I want to rename customer.txt with customer2 dot txt. Okay, I am saving file rename also. Control S. Let's execute this. So here I can file renamed, I can give, right? Renamed successfully. This message I can change. Control S. Again I'm pressing Control S means it will redeploy again. Okay, once it is redeployed, I'll test from the Postman. So here rename. I'm sending. File renamed successfully. Refresh and check. So customer 1, customer 2. Customer file is converted into a customer 2 file. Okay. So nothing bad. Here I'll create a one more directory also. Okay. Which directory I can create? So here same thing, everything same. Okay. So for example, just I want to create a directory. Nothing but I want to create a folder. How can I create? Will be create folder directory also, you can write like directory also. Okay, create directory flow, create directory flow, and remove the all the copy of control F, replace all. So I'll change this, create directory, create folder. I'll give simple create folder. So here this is the start logger. I don't want to use this. I'll delete this and create directory I can use. So here you can see directory path I'll give. Okay. So here inside SRC main resource I want to create a directory, right? So slash output directory I'll create. Okay, let's see how it goes. So here directory created successfully. Done. Folder created successfully. Let's see. Sending the request. Oh, input.txt does not exist. What happened? Sorry, it is going to the rename only always. So create folder, right? I need to choose create folder. So then it will create the folder. Folder created successfully. Let's refresh this SRC main resource and check. Refresh. Here you can see output folder is created. Inside output folder, if you want to copy this file, one of the file, okay, if you want to copy customer one file, you can copy from input to output folder. How you can copy? By using copy option. Okay, by using copy option you can copy, and move also same. Okay, copy and move both are same. So copy file flow, copy file flow, remove copy of control F, that's all. Okay, copy, this is a start logger. So here I can place some kind of a copy operation. Okay, here file copied successfully. File copied successfully. So here I can write copy file. Can choose the source path and target path. Yes, from the source path it will take the file and it will copy into the target path. Okay, let's see this. I'm a little bit doubt on this. Okay, let's see how they have written. Not this. This is not here also. File is a little bit difficult. Copy option. Read list. Okay. Okay. Let me try this. I think copy means sometimes it will copy entire folder also. That's why I'm thinking. So input. So it will copy the file, customer file, right? So file example also not there. For example, this is. I don't have anything. Okay, let's see this will work or not. We'll see.
File example
File
isn't
example
working.
isn't working.
File example. Sorry. Okay, let's see. Will it work or not? Okay. First of all, I want to copy this file, customer1 file, customer1.txt, and I'm copying to target file. Okay. Think create a parent directory is not required this time. Think we'll see how it will work. Control A, Control C, Control V. So here output. So same this folder I'm selecting, but I thought it will copy from entire this. I think. Okay, let's see. Let it create or not. I'm pressing Control S. Let's see. So it will give some kind of a different behavior. That's why I'm thinking. Okay. So here, what is my path? Copy, and it is returning some kind of a file copied successfully. Let's see how it will work. So output already existed. Why?
You're not change the path.
Change the path actually from the input folder. I want to take this file and I want to write in a output folder. So it is showing like output already existed.
No, in Postman.
In Postman. Sorry. Copy. I'll select the copy operation, right? So file copied successfully. Let me check. I think it will create a different way. Refresh this. Yeah, it is copied successfully. Sometimes it will give some headache actually. That's why I thought so. Okay. So now you can see customer1 file is there and I'm copied successfully to the output also. Still one copy is maintaining in a input folder. In this way you can copy. If you perform same operation by using move, it will completely move. Okay, I'll show you that thing also. This file, I'll Control C, will be. So here you can change the path, move. Yeah, even you can change the flow name also. Move file flow, and I'll remove all the copy of Control F, replace all. Okay, here you can see. So this is the move folder, move path, and here you can see start logger. This is the copy file. Instead of copy file, I can use the move file. Okay, both should be same. Okay, so here it will also read the file. So same thing. Otherwise I can choose here also. There is no doubt in that. Okay, I'll delete this anyway. So here first I'll choose the file. Okay, I want to move the customer2 file slash customer2.txt. This file I want to move to this output folder. How can I select the output folder? src main resource output folder I'll select. Let's see what will happen. File moved successfully. I'm pressing Ctrl S and let me check. So it will reapply. After that, here I'll give like move option. Okay, it is reapplied, right? So let me check from here. Sending the request, you'll get file moved successfully response. Go to here, then refresh this src messages. So then this customer2 file completely will move to the output folder. Copy means it will maintain one copy in input folder and it will move one more copy to the output folder. But in the move section, completely it will delete in the input folder. It will completely move to the output folder. Let's check that. Okay, refresh. You can see customer2 file completely moved to the output folder. In this way, you can perform all copy and create directory, delete and move, read, rename, write. Okay, let's see tomorrow list operation and on your update file. Okay, if you want to see, then I can show you at this moment only. Yeah, it will take few more times, so then So we can discuss more things actually. So in this list and everything, you can discuss more things, or on your update file. We can discuss more things. That's why we'll discuss these two parts separately. Okay. In tomorrow session. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.